Coming up on Mountain News this morning, as the Commonwealth continues to face a nursing shortage, experts are warning the problem needs to be addressed head-on soon. And the finalists for the Invest 606 Accelerator and Final Pitch Contest have been announced.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 5:30 on November 22nd. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, the rain is going to start moving out hopefully pretty soon, and then we'll have a beautiful holiday. I don't know if I should call it a holiday weekend, but a beautiful few days.
Yeah, exactly. But it means a holiday weekend, and I'm glad you can hear me now because you couldn't hear me before. We fixed all that. But anyway, you're right. I think it's going to be a fantastic holiday and basically going all the way into the weekend. But changes are coming. Let's go to Line Pinpoint Doppler radar right now, and you see not a whole lot of action. But again, there still could be some light moisture that's not necessarily showing up on there, some drizzle, so to speak. But overall, it's just the clouds that are plaguing us this morning. We go down to Somerset, and you see no major issues down that way this morning. It is a little cool. Tree up there where the fountain usually is, but again, we're looking at 43 out there this morning. Some light traffic as you start out that way. You've got 40s pretty much area wide there. No 30s this morning. Closest we've got is 41 in Hazard, Williamsburg, Wise, and Clintwood. Everybody else is kind of right there. We've had a cold front come through overnight, so our warmest temperature of the day was right around midnight last night. So your app forecast, it is going to keep clouds around for a while today. I don't think we see much in the way of rain chances. I think we see those clouds gradually clear as we get deeper into the day, and I think we stabilize right there in the mid-40s by this afternoon. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. A report from the Kentucky Hospital Association says a nursing shortage will only worsen if not addressed head on. At the end of last year, hospitals had a workforce vacancy rate of 15%. Kelsey Soto was talking with those in the profession about ways to improve those numbers and get the state back on track.
New data from the Kentucky Hospital Association says the state is about 6,000 nurses short.
We know that every industry, every business all across Kentucky are dealing with workforce problems. And it's not just a business problem, it's a community problem, and it's obviously a problem for our citizens as well. And that really hits home when we really talk to our partners at the Hospital Association.
In 2022, there were 760 full-time licensed practical nurse openings. By 2035, that number could skyrocket to more than 3,000.
Yeah, you can't get people quickly. That's the problem. You know, a nurse takes a minimum of 2 years. You know, you have to get people into the pipeline. You have to get them through, education. They have to pass exams. So there's no quick fix to this.
That's why the KHA is partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, the Council on Post-Secondary Education, and KCTCS to expand the workforce pipeline. They also want to remove barriers for healthcare education and better protect their current staff.
Our hospitals are certainly focused on retention. We certainly want to keep the workers we have, so I would say that's a huge focus.
Sheila Melander is an associate dean at UK's College of Nursing. She's been in the profession for more than 20 years.
We also have retirements. We have an aging population, and we also have a pipeline problem with getting those nurses to the bedside.
She remains hopeful about building back employment numbers. They're starting with future nurses. UK has widened their enrollment from 120 students twice a year to 180. It's a start that will hopefully reverse course on the downward trends. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Lawmakers say it may take the state a decade to catch back up. The KHA is hoping the legislature will take a look at funding and try to provide additional scholarships and resources for those looking to enter the healthcare field. 12 counties will undergo a post-election audit for the 2023 general election. In a release from the Attorney General's office, a dozen counties were selected at random, including 3 here in the mountains. Those are Perry, Martin, and Johnson counties. The counties are randomly selected in a public forum within 20 days of the general election. A man is behind bars after leading police on a high-speed chase through parts of Laurel and Clay counties. Sunday, London PD learned about an active chase coming into London city limits from East Laurel Road. An officer observed Dennis Smith going around a sheriff's office vehicle at a high speed at the intersection of Kentucky 192 and East Laurel Road. The chase continued until the vehicle ran out of gas going north on US 421. Smith is facing several charges. In Logan County, West Virginia, 2 women have been arrested in connection with more than $1,200 worth of merchandise being taken from a Walmart. West Virginia State Police say the women were arrested last week in connection to the incident that happened last month. Both Victoria Ford and Alexandria Hatcher face grand larceny and conspiracy to commit grand larceny charges. The women were taken to the Southwestern Regional Jail. A former Clay County accountant has been indicted after reportedly failing to report more than $320,000 in income on his federal taxes. The Lexington Herald Leader reports a federal grand jury indicted Charles Marshall Stivers of Manchester last week on 2 charges of making false statements on tax returns in 2018 and 2020. He faces up to 3 years in prison on each charge if convicted. This Thanksgiving week, as many will gather with friends and family to have big feasts, others are going hungry. Mike Halligan of God's Pantry Food Bank says they see numbers of requests they've never seen before. He also says people are generous and willing to help when they see how quickly someone can find themselves in need.
One paycheck away, one unexpected event, loss of a loved one, a car accident, an unexpected medical expense, loss of a job, low-paying wages or lack of benefits, just all kinds of potential issues, kind of what we call the root cause of hunger, that can lead someone all of a sudden not being able to put nutritious food on their table.
Halligan says he's also watching Frankfurt and Washington as lawmakers wrestle with finding solutions. After cooking your Thanksgiving feast, you might want to think about saving your used cooking oil. Those working at UK's Center for Applied Energy Research say they use your cooking oil for further biofuel research. Researchers say they use different forms of fats, oils, and grease as a starting material to make biofuels. Organizers say every year folks recycle hundreds of gallons of cooking oil at the Lexington Gobble Grease Toss.
That ends up in a landfill. In the landfill, it would decompose to methane, which is a more powerful greenhouse gas than CO2.
The oil UK's research center does not use will be taken to Kelly Green Biofuel to be converted into a renewable fuel. The annual Cram the Cruiser campaign is underway, and Governor Andy Beshear and KSP launched the effort yesterday. The initiative is going on at all 16 KSP posts and will run from now through December 4th. The goal of the food drive is to help fight hunger in communities throughout the state. Last year, KSP collected more than 218,000 pounds of food. Trooper Matt Gayhart says the food will stay local.
All the food that's donated in our region stays within our region. So all the food that we collect from Hazard will go to Hazard food pantries. Vice versa, the same thing for Whitesburg, Knott County, all of our drop-off spots. The food will be kept locally.
Gayhart says they will collect donations at Kentucky's State Police Post 13. He says there will be other collection events around the region too. Another holiday tradition is just getting started. At the state capitol yesterday, Governor Beshear joined the Salvation Army to celebrate the Red Kettle campaign kickoff. The holiday campaign is the largest for the Salvation Army every year, raising money for year-round programs. Governor Beshear also proclaimed December as Salvation Army Red Kettle Month in the Commonwealth.
The Salvation Army's red kettles and the sound of bells are a symbol of hope, of love, and of generosity. They are something that you can hear and you know exactly what it means. And hopefully it makes us all envision a better world where, if we work hard enough, providing the types of opportunities that the next generation deserves.
The governor and First Lady Brittany Bashir also made the first donation to the Red Kettle. Finalists for the Invest 606 Accelerator and Final Pitch contest have been announced. 14 businesses from across Eastern Kentucky were selected to compete for more than $30,000 in cash prizes. The businesses represent several different industries. Invest 606 founder Geoff Marietta, who is a small business owner himself, says more and more small businesses are becoming interested in participating.
We just had a lot of businesses apply this year, a lot more than we'd ever had before, and also a lot newer, fast-growing businesses. So the average number of years that the businesses have been operating is just 2 years.
The finalists will complete training plans during the next 6 months before presenting their businesses to the public in Hazard on February 4th. Coming up, we take a look at the upcoming Leonard Bernstein movie and what Bradley Cooper did to prepare for the role.
And we want to focus on the forecast for Thanksgiving, and we're going to be looking at some clearing skies after a big-time cold front. We'll talk more about that in about 3 minutes.